Let me also tell you that we have the actual case. The case that you saw on the thumbnail is the case that we have in this PC. So if you have a friend that will enter a room, and check out this PC, would not believe this cost around $800. So this is an awesome PC, Alright, so it's been a while, and hey, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. And as you can see, this is a different setup from the ones that we're used to. So hey, if you appreciate it, press that like button, because this gaming PC build is different. Actually, it's one of the best, or actually it is the ultimate best budget gaming PC that you can get for 2022 and 2023. This is about the fastest budget gaming PC that you can get. If you decided to go over this PC in terms of parts, you'll have to spend more money, and it will not be a budget PC anymore, and it will lose its value. So this is the bleeding edge when it comes to value for the performance. I cannot stress that enough. The budget of this PC, the ones that we have today, is $800, but you can easily tone that down to $700. We couldn't actually go with anything faster that would make sense. So I decided altogether just to spend the money on some really cool looking aesthetics. So a PC that would be really pleasing in terms of performance and would be really pleasing in terms of looks. When it comes to Red Dead Redemption 2 at 1440p with the ultra settings, I don't know if there's ray tracing, but there's not, I think. You can get 60 FPS. I actually have the same parts myself, except for the GPU, because I don't have that money for the GPU. When it comes to the brand new Spider-Man at 1440p with ray tracing turned on, ultra settings, with the DLSS, you can get 60 FPS easily, and it will be a really good visual experience for you. When it comes to the competitive games, and one of the most competitive games, which is Apex Legends, and you can hit 240 FPS easily at 1080p ultra settings. So there isn't much to be said there, but Apex Legends is an easy to run game for this PC. Now we'll get into the game that you really want, which is Cyberpunk 2077, and we are getting around, I think, 60 FPS at 1080p ultra settings with ray tracing. You will not believe the GPU that we have in this budget, guys. It's actually pretty crazy. So yeah, that really shows you how capable this PC is. So without wasting any more time, let's get it with the parts. And the CPU, we're looking at the Ryzen 5 from AMD, of course, 5600. This is a 6-core 12-threaded CPU. I have this CPU myself. I've had this CPU for 2 years now, I think. Anyways, this is a 6-core 12-threaded CPU. It's a great CPU for video editing. It's an awesome CPU for gaming, of course. It will handle our GPU just fine, no bottlenecking. But anything higher than the GPU that we have here with the Ryzen 5600, it will bottleneck it. The CPU that we have here is $118. That's why I say that this is the best value for money budget PC, because it wouldn't make much sense to go with a 5700X. You should rather go with something like a 13600K instead and get way more performance. But it will not be a budget PC anymore, and this really stresses on the point that I've been talking about, hands down my favorite CPU right now, and it will be the budget king for a long time, next year, of course. And when it comes to the board, we are looking at a B550M board. Don't spend over $90, let me just say it that way, but the one I have is a Gigabyte B550M-DS3H. This is the board that I have. We will not do crazy overclocking, so it will handle it fine. And this board will handle higher CPUs like a Ryzen 5 5800X3D even, so you shouldn't be afraid of that. So yeah, any board equivalent to that one for around $90 with 4 RAM slots and M.2 SSD, PCIe Gen 4 is a really good addition to the PC. For the RAM, we are looking at 32 gigabytes of 2 16GB sticks of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM. DDR4 prices is pretty cheap. Imagine that 32 gigs of RAM right now is for $65. So this is a really great price in my opinion, and I think you should invest in 32 gigs over 16 gigs. And we are maxing out our PC in terms of performance and parts. It looks really good. 32 gigs is so awesome in my opinion, and I have 32 gigs myself. I have the same identical PC parts except for the GPU. We are looking at 1TB M.2 SSD or SATA SSD for $40 to $45. That's why I went with 1TB, because it goes for under $50, so that's a great actually deal in my opinion. If you want PCIe Gen 4, you want faster SSD, you can go with a 500GB one for the same price. But if you decided to go with a 1TB Gen 4 SSD, you would go over the budget by like 50 or something. So we're going with the fastest GPU that you can get right now used, because used GPUs right now are so cheap, and this is the best, fastest GPU that you can go with. and anything higher than that in terms of the money used will lose its value and get it new anyways. You know what it is. This is the Nvidia RTX 3060 Ti. The reason I didn't go with the 6700 XT because the 3060 Ti has better ray tracing performance and it performs nearly identical. This is a really good GPU. It goes for $300 on eBay right now. You can even stretch that down to $280. There are a lot of Dell RTX 3060 Ti, for that price, so feel free to actually make an offer to $270 or $280. The reason the 3060 Ti is a very cheap GPU because it only has 8 gigs of VRAM. It performs really good, 1080p, 1440p. You have the NVENC encoder, you have DLSS, you have really good streaming capabilities, really good drivers, and it's been used on mining, of course, but it hasn't been abused because the mining cycle for the RTX 3060 Ti hasn't been that long, around 8 to 10 months. And you have the 30 days eBay money back guarantee in case anything went wrong. But if you want a brand new GPU, go with the RX 6650 XT or a 6700 XT. In my opinion, the RTX 3060 Ti is the GPU that you should get used. Don't be afraid. It's really safe in my opinion, and it will give you the best performance ever for a budget PC. It's been like 2 months now, and you couldn't go with anything faster in terms of the CPU GPU combo right now for around $700 to $800. So please feel free to go with that. I'm going looking at the case, and this is the actual case that we have in the thumbnail. So the thumbnail is not a clickbait. Anyways, this is the NZXT H5 Flow Elite. This one goes for around $140 to $150. It's a really crisp, clean looking case from NZXT. I really love it. It looks so good. I wish I could have one myself, but it's not even in my country. Anyways, it's got 2 RGB fans in the front, NZXT RGB fans, of course. It will really flatter our PC. We have a white RGB cooler. We have nothing else white. Anyways, maybe the RAM actually is grayish white, you know? But it gets the job done. It looks really good. It's very pleasing for the eyes. Anyone who would enter your room, you know, and check out your PC would not believe this PC for $800. And this is the aim of the PC, you know. It really gives you the good performance for the money, and it gives you a really good pleasing aesthetics. So the NZXT H5 Flow Elite is awesome. Get it. As for the power supply, we're looking at a 600 watt, 550 watt ish, 80 plus gold, bronze rated power supply, sorry. So a power supply that goes for $50. The thing is that PSU prices really go up and down a lot, and they go out of stock a lot, but I will make sure to link you with a really good trusted worthy power supply. So yeah, that's been it. It's not a quick video because this is a bit different one, but hey, if you like the video, press the like button. If you want to see more videos of that kind, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.